next guest is coming off a no contest, but you wouldn't know it because I think he won the weekend here. Of course, I'm talking about Bryan Battle and his fight with Ong Lhasa. Bryan, how's it going? How's this weekend been? A little bit different than other fights, I bet.
Man, I tell you what, this weekend has been one for the record books, man. I mean, it really has been a very unique. I've had weekends with like performance of the night bonuses. I've been down in the dumps. Never a weekend quite like this one. You know what I'm saying? Where I have a great performance in the cage, but what happened after the fight is more of like what people are talking about. So it's been crazy, brother. It's been very crazy.
Well, let's start there first. What's the feedback been like? Like, have you had other fighters that you didn't even know, like reaching out? Because it seemed like even like people who maybe weren't paying attention to the fight saw what happened after. It seemed like everyone was on your side. What's been that like since the fight?
Yeah, no, I mean, the fan support has been really crazy. And once again, shout out to Los. I did get him in the eye a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But what I'll say is like, I think my performance caused that situation because it was an erratic move that led to that. You know what I'm saying? He lunged from outer range for a bad shot. Then he popped up, hit me in the head with his head. So he headbutted me right before it happened. And, I'm trying to push him away. A frantic movement caused another frantic movement. You know what I mean? But no, yeah, there's been fighters who have reached out and were like, "Hey, man, you looked really good in there. Hey, how it all ended." You know what I'm saying? The fans have been going crazy on social media. So just a lot of validation. You know what I'm saying? That I was right in feeling the way that I felt, and I feel a lot of people. Are so like hyped up off of this one because it's like you've seen this happen before where a fighter was losing a fight and then because of some unfortunate circumstance they had the ability to get out without taking the L, and I just kind of like expressed in that moment how everyone always feels in those situations, all the frustration people always feel towards fighters get playing it up a little bit and not wanting to, tough through situations they probably would if they were winning the fight. uh, you know, so yeah, it's been something. It's been something else.
Do you think part of the reason as well people liked it so much, you mentioned how we've seen this before where, fans, like you said, there was a lot of frustration sort of leading up to that, but also the fact that like you didn't script any of this. This was just all off the cuff and it ended up turning out really well, like the way you said it and like everything that kind of came together. Do you think because fans like authenticity, do you feel like that's part of the reason too, why people were so happy seeing what you said, saying what you said after the fight?
Yeah, I think that's like a huge part of it. Like, because yeah, there was nothing, like you always try to have something, thought up, something little to say or whatever. But yeah, no, that was all just like off the cuff, and because you can't predict a situation like that, and so it's like even looking back, would I have selected certain words a little differently for sure, definitely, but yeah, and I think the how raw it was, and I was spitting bars out there. You know what I'm saying? I was speaking poetry. You know what I'm saying? So I think the people appreciated that, and people love drama, but like you said, they don't like scripted drama. So a lot of times you can tell when people are doing these things after the fight. It kind of sounds fake or whatever, but it was like there's nothing disingenuous about that at all. So yeah, I think it was just a combination of the spontaneity of the situation and your boy being a master on the mic. You know what I mean?
Have you had any haters at all? I know no matter what, like you could post a cuddly cute animal on social media and people find something bad to say about it. Have you had any people reach out saying, "Oh man, that was brutal" or whatever? Like,
No, yeah, like there's certain people like like even with everything we just said about how you can't blame for the situation, people are still like, "Oh man, he's gone WWE. I used to be a fan of him. Now
oh God.
he's so fake," or like people are like, "Why is he getting mad when he's the one who committed the foul?" Blah blah blah, a lot of stuff, and but that's like the minority. That's like the small like.
Or it could be members of his team maybe saying that too, that you don't know. Maybe they're fans of his, right? I was thinking that as well, right?
Facts, exactly, right. So I mean, that's been one of the things where even you haven't even really heard a lot from his people, because I'm pretty sure they all saw and they were like, ah. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? They're
Yeah.
all like, so because he's a part of a big gym. You haven't really heard any Kill Cliff guys say anything bad about what I said or anything about that. So it's just one of those things where if you were watching it, you knew. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You going on. So there's been a little bit, but not too much hate.
So we talked all about, the post fight and all that, but in the fight, man, you look really good. And that was something you sort of alluded to a little bit in your post fight speech in the cage. How did you feel in there? Cause you look like, it looked like we were on our way to seeing another stoppage win from you.
Man, no, I felt all week leading up to the fight. I almost felt like I was like in a trance. Like things were like moving in slow motion. I was super sharp, super fast. I heard him with a jab like 20 seconds into the fight. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just one of those things where I was just like super duper dialed in, and physically in a place I had never been before. So yeah, no, I firmly believe that if the fight had continued, I would have finished him before the end of the second round. But it's okay. I think that's also one of the things where it's easy for people to get behind me, because I did look so good in the first round. I was, like I heard him with the jab. You know what I'm saying? I hit the flying switch knee on him. I heard him with the kick when he switched to southpaw. So, when we had our one little grappling exchange, I threw him around like a little kid. You know what I'm saying? So. No, I felt great. I got a chance to show off a lot of skills in the amount of time that we had there. So, like you said, I would have preferred a win. I would have preferred the finish, but all things considered, I still got to show off a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I got to make a moment that was memorable for all the fans and whatnot. So it all worked out.
Did you get to enjoy yourself after the fight, or like what was the mindset after? Because I'm sure you're also pissed off at all this happening, like not getting the actual win there. Like, what did you do after the fight? You did a bit of media. Anything after that?
Oh yeah, no, I went out with the team. That's one of those things where like win, loss, draw, whatever. You work so hard. It's like it's hard to go home if you don't decompress. You know what I'm saying? You got to blow off a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You got to go have some fun, have some drinks in the casino and whatnot. But and like you said, it was one of those things where I didn't get the win on paper, but the way that the fans have kind of like rallied around me and everything like that, it felt just like a win. Like I have to remind myself that I didn't actually technically win that fight. You know what I'm saying? Because and everything else about it feels like a win. You know what I mean?
Totally get it. Have you or the management talked to the UFC yet? Has there been any talks since the fight ended, like whether they want to rebook the fight or they want to give you someone else? Has there been any update there?
No, nothing of any note. You know what I'm saying? It's been like a little bit like, hey, are you healthy? You feel good? You ready to fight again? And like, yeah, like talking to my agent, looking at people in the rankings, you know what I'm saying? But nothing nothing anywhere near solid or anything. All just like talks and you know potential. You know what I'm saying? So nothing real yet. You know what I mean? But I'm your boy. I'm gonna get right back into the gym, get right back into it. So when my opportunity comes, I'll be ready for it.
Do you want to get it back in there pretty soon? Like you mentioned, like this wasn't technically a win, but you felt really good. But you also had a long camp too. So how do you balance that? Like if you could sort of pick when you could have your next fight, when would you want that to be?
If I could have another fight like in the summer, that'd be great. You know what I mean? Like I would love to fight 3 times. Like if I could get 2 more fights before the end of the year, that'd be amazing. So, like I said, I feel good. I'll be back to training like next week. So, I'm ready. I'm ready. They just gotta call me. But that's how it always is. You know what I'm saying? I'm always ready. They just gotta call me. So, you can expect your boy's ready to go. Your boy's ready to go. I feel. They might hit me up a little bit sooner this time. So, just be on the lookout for that.
What would be your number one choice for an opponent? Would it be the rematch? Would it be I'm sure a ranked opponent, right? Like this is something we talked about sort of before the fight, was that if you got the win here, you're on a bit of a streak minus that one fight with Renat. But outside of that, I think a ranked opponent is well deserved at this point.
Yeah, man. To me, if I had my choice, it's got to be someone in the rankings. Who it is in the rankings, it doesn't really matter that much. Like I've been saying Neil Magny a lot lately, just because I feel like he's kind of been in a position where he's kind of like the gatekeeper to the rankings. Like a guy like me, if I want to get into the rankings, I gotta fight him. So that'd be dope. But really, any of those guys, you know what I'm saying? I look up and down the rankings, and I feel like I got ways to beat every single person in there. So I mean, no one in particular, but yeah, definitely. I mean, the rematch, whatever. If they want to pay me to whoop his ass again,
Yeah, you're down. Yeah.
whatever. But definitely someone in the ranks. That's what I would like.
One name that I thought, I actually did a video on this card, and I actually put you as like I do the stock report video, and it was like, of all people on the card, Bryan Battle stock went up the most, like just because of your interview and everything. And I know you didn't get the win, but I was talking about a next opponent. Kevin Holland, I think, would be awesome. Like, he's in the rankings. He just lost his last fight. I think entertaining wise, that would be like a really fun fight. I think he's ranked a little bit higher than Magny, but he needs to fight someone too after losing that fight to MVP.
Hey, I mean, I've been hearing that name circulated around my name a lot since Saturday night. And hey, hey, come on, man. You know what I'm
There you
saying?
go. There you go. Yeah, I see the smile on your face. Okay.
That's a great marquee matchup. You know what I'm saying? Me and Kevin we'd be a good time. He'd give me a good chance to show off what I can do against somebody who's actually tall. You know what I'm saying? Everyone I fought at welterweight so far has been pretty short. So to go against someone a little bit taller than me, that'd be a nice change of pace. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now I got to ask, just because again, I seen on social media that weight cut looked a little brutal this time around. How was it? Like, now after the fact, obviously you didn't lose this fight, so we can get a little bit more into the detail. But what like, take me through the weight cut, and was this harder than other weight cuts?
So ironically, it was it was easier in one sense. Like, it was easier getting on weight. Like, it didn't take a whole lot of effort to get on weight. The problem was it was a little bit easier than I thought. Like, it took a less time than I thought, so I was just on weight way earlier. I mean, anytime I'm cutting to 170, it's gonna be kind of rough. I mean, I'm really big on the welterweight spectrum. You know what I'm saying? And this time I just happened to be on weight. Like, I got on weight at like 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock at night. You know what I mean? And
Oh, okay, gotcha. So you had lots of time. You had like 8 hours then, or however long it is,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
yeah. I just thought it was gonna take more time. So it was like, when I got on weight that early, then it's just like, okay, well, like, I guess I just gotta maintain this for a really like long time. And so it was kind of a really crappy night. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of cramping, you know, just other things. I think getting on weight that early kind of like upset my stomach a little bit. So it took me a second to get my stomach acclimated so I could like rehydrate properly and start to eat things and everything again. But so that was the one thing. It was just like, if I would have timed it a little bit better, like if I would have got on weight at like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, then it would have been like it would have been the best weight cut I've had up to this date.
Mhm.
Just like, it was a little easier than I thought it was going to be. So
Gotcha. Because the weight cut's so tough, like, do you kind of like worry that maybe you can't fight in this weight class very longer? Like, again, I'm just looking at the optics of it, sort of, non-medical opinion. It looks like it is a tough cut for you. So I'm just wondering, like, do you see this, eventually going back up again?
yeah, I know, down the line, I like, especially as I'm getting like my fully grown man body. Like, I see, once I hit mid 30s, I don't think I'll be able to cut to welterweight anymore. I think
Gotcha.
I'm on I'm on borrowed time at welterweight, so I really gotta make the most of it while I can, while I still can make the cut, and while it doesn't actually take anything away from me. Yeah, I think I got 5 years tops of doing that before I really need to go back up to middleweight.
Okay, now let's get to the real part of the interview. We're going to do some rapid fire fun questions. Bryan Battle, who's your favorite athlete outside of combat sports?
Favorite athlete outside of combat sports, like ever, or
Yeah, it could
like
be ever. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
um right now at the moment. This is always kind of like changing, always kind of flip flopping. I'm going to go Dale Earnhardt Sr.
Love it. I didn't know you were a NASCAR guy.
Big racing guy. Big
Okay,
racing guy.
didn't know that. Didn't know that. Very cool. What's your favorite movie?
Favorite movie? It's a three-way tie between Friday Night Lights, Rocky, and Inception.
Favorite actor or actress?
Favorite actor Christian Bale. Favorite actress. Oh my goodness. She was in Speed with Keanu Reeves.
Oh, Sandra Bullock.
Sandra Bullock. Yeah, I love Sandra Bullock.
That's also a good movie. Favorite TV show?
Favorite TV show. Uh, Vinland Saga.
What? Sorry, what'd you say?
it's an anime. It's an anime. It's really good, but it's one of those things I'm not even gonna try.
What's the name of it again, just so I can get it?
Vinland Saga.
Okay, gotcha. I will take your word for it. What is your favorite comedian? Who's your favorite comedian?
Favorite comedian? Um, oh man. Probably either John Mulaney or like right now it's just I've watched so much Cat Williams as of late. You know what I'm saying? Either John Mulaney or Cat Williams.
Favorite travel destination?
Vegas.
Favorite animal?
Um, Favorite animal's got to be what is my favorite animal? I don't know. I'm going dragon.
What's your hidden talent?
Hidden talent. My hidden talent is longboarding. Great longboarder.
What is your biggest pet peeve?
Smacking gum. Like if you're chewing gum, just keep your mouth closed. You know what I'm saying? Smacking, period. If you smack on food, oh God, that drives me crazy.
What do you got planned the rest of the week? Again, just coming off this kind of weird situation here, but you're getting all the love. Do you get, like, I imagine too, like when you're immersed in camp, you probably neglect a lot of things. Do you like get to those like during this week, or like what do you got planned?
Yeah, no, today, like this whole week, like today doing some media stuff. Yeah, getting back to the gym, getting back to like the regular swing. It's almost like it's funny. It's like a week. I mean, but even like the time like coming up to it, it's like you get in such a like crazy mind state and you're so focused and dialed in. It takes like a second to like kind of unwind and like turn that person off. You know what I'm saying? I got to put the butcher away for a while. So uh, doing reacclimating, catching up on things I need to get caught up on, and getting back into the swing of things. That's kind of like this week. And then, after that, then we're really like back into regular life.
And appreciate you making time, Bryan. Always a good time talking to you. If there's anyone you want to thank before we get out of here, any sponsors, any social media you want to promote, I'll give you the last word.
Oh, thank you, man. Listen, big thing right now, especially for all my people in North Carolina with me. You know what I'm saying? Online betting just became legal. So get your betting apps. But then after you do that, download the Sharps app. You know what I'm saying? So that you can post your bets on a betting social media app. Add your boy. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have a good time. Shout out to the good people at Sharps. And shout out to my boy James Lynch, you know what I'm saying, for having me on again.